Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Those that have played The Witcher, 1, 2, and 3, will be well aware that this next statement is perfectly true. No sarcasm, no misguided statement here remotely. Definitely not. When you're playing that game, what you're really doing is navigating a medieval world and the struggles of monster hunting through the lens of a man. Said no one ever. However, that is what you're going to be doing with The Witcher 4. That's what you're going to be doing with The Witcher 4. That's right, ladies and gents. That's right, ladies and gents. There's got to be some weird angle to it, of course. And that angle, playing as Ciri, is navigating a medieval world as a woman. And the struggle. How about just play a game, just being a monster hunter? I thought she was going to be a monster hunter, a witcher, and that was it, really. That's what people were telling me, that it's earned and it's all good, and don't you worry about it. This is where that season, where that sort of game series was going. It was always building to that. Well, apparently it's going to tackle a woman's struggle in a medieval world, apparently. Just what I want when I play games. Ridiculous. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this article. It's quite comical, so I'll leave it linked down below. Please do check it out along with me if you want. And also, I will say, guys, please do, if you're a returning viewer and you're not yet subscribed, hit subscribe. It would really help the channel out. And I see you. I can see it from the analytics. There are a lot of you guys that are watching that are not subscribed, but you keep coming back. So you clearly like the content. Also, for those that want to support just that little bit further, I do have a Patreon with hundreds of hours of content. Literally hundreds of hours of content. And that's the first link down below. And you can help support there for as little as $2 a month. Help me fight YouTube, because YouTube demonetizes some of my videos and it's very annoying. But anyway, this is just nonsense and just a weird headline. And I saw this and I was like, well, we've got to talk about this. Absolutely unequivocally, we've got to talk about this. Look, so The Witcher 4 directors claim that using Ciri as their main protagonist will allow the team to explore the specific struggle of a female monster hunter in a medieval world. Does anyone want that? Is medieval sexism something anyone was asking for in a fantasy RPG game heading into 2025? That's right, ladies and gents. What I want with The Witcher, Witcher 4, is a scene where she walks into a tavern and some bigoted drunk makes some comment about how she's got broad shoulders or childbearing hips, and she skewers him like a pig. I mean, this is just ridiculous. It's just stupid. It's dumb. It's really, really dumb. And comical as well, because of course the Witcher TV show made a point of overtly sexualizing Henry Cavill's Geralt of Rivia, which was hilarious, to be honest, because of course if that was a woman, people would be up in arms. And literally that is what they're doing with this game. They're making out that everything's sexist. It's like, well, isn't that just what you did with the TV show? I mean, obviously these aren't the same people, but the point stands, doesn't it? When it's flipped. Yeah, it's interesting. Anyway, take a look a little bit further. So it says this: ever since CD Projekt Red announced that Ciri would star in The Witcher 4, there have been questions and concerns raised. Some corners of the web erupted with outrage. Yet another female protagonist replacing a beloved male hero. Others are asking thoughtful questions about lore and whether Ciri's abilities and background even fit the concept of being a Witcher at all. But what's catching the most attention is how the developers at CD Projekt Red have seemingly confirmed they plan to use Ciri's storyline to explore sexism and gender politics in the medieval-inspired world of The Witcher. Again, that's just what I want in my medieval fantasy game. I want to explore sexism. Oh, yes. Lame. Speaking of Eurogamer, game director Sebastian Kalemba and narrative director Philip Weber laid out how from the start they saw Ciri as more than a mere side character, which is fine. Like, that's good. Don't have her as a weird side character. Have her as a fully fleshed out character. That's fine. There's literally no issue with that. So they pointed out that while Geralt was already set in his ways, Ciri, at the outset of The Witcher 4, is, quote, at the beginning of her journey as a Witcher. In a way, even though Ciri is of course a defined character, with her, players will have the opportunity to still define her quite a bit more. Specifically, define the path that she will take on her way to becoming a Witcher, and I thought she was a Witcher, and basically also what kind of person that will make her. That's interesting, that's fine, that's cool. Right, that's them, at least on face value, saying we've got a good character here. And we're going to explore that journey and character arc together, which is seldom something women go through in media these days. Character arcs. You know, the hero's journey. Look it up. Basically, no woman does anymore. So the conversation with Eurogamer then turns specifically to questions that centered around the idea of sexism in the world of The Witcher. Fantastic, Eurogamer. Great journalism there. So Eurogamer said, the experience of a woman is actively quite a significant theme in The Witcher, in a lot of different forms. The women of this world are subjected to a lot of violence. They're heavily sexualized in different ways. There's the kind of deal with the devil that sorceresses have to make, where they lose their fertility and so on. Watching the trailer, it seemed to maybe channel this. There's Ciri, a woman trying and failing to save another woman from more of this universe's violence, right? Is that an intentional theme that you were channeling with the trailer? And also, is it something you're intentionally looking to explore in the game? The experience of a woman in particular through Ciri's eyes in the world. And they reply with this. I mean, I would say the world of The Witcher is a really dark one that's really inspired by, of course, dark fantasy folklore, but also medieval to early Renaissance history. And that is a world that was tough for many different groups, women among them. As an example, in The Witcher, we also deal a lot with racism when it comes to non-humans. That's not racism, then. Well, I guess is it literal? That's speciesism? It's not racism if it's different. What? And this is something that we want to keep up with The Witcher 4. Oh, they're just using it as an allegory, basically. Yeah, fine. Lame, but fine. I think it's something that has always been really important. We make games for adults, and it also means that we tackle some difficult topics. Then why are you doing that for adults? Because most adults, they don't want to be lectured. Like, what? We tackle them in interesting ways. We tackle them without giving easy answers, but often opening difficult questions that players have to answer. And I think some of those questions might be going in this direction as well. Because, yeah, Ciri is a woman. And as a Witcher in this world, this is an unusual state. Yeah, it was like law breaking, wasn't it? Not the law, you know, not breaking the law, but the law, as in R-E, law. So I don't think it's going to be this story everywhere, but since this is a part of this world and we want to tackle so many of those different themes, it's definitely also going to appear there as well. So does this mean that instead of simply showing Ciri grows into her monster slaying role, CD Projekt Red feels it's important to weave in a story about gender politics? Do most gamers really want that in their dark fantasy? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a bit lame, to be honest. It is interesting that they're like, well, the Witcher's sexualized women. It's like, well, sure, but isn't that what happened with the actual Witcher? They just sexualized men as well. I don't know. This is kind of lame, to be honest. Tackling a woman's struggle in a medieval world is just something which I guess might interest some people, but I'm not really interested in that, because you're looking at it through a modern lens. And therefore, you're going to apply modern sensibilities to it and modern sort of arguments against it as well, which it just doesn't stand up. Like, it's just dumb. So I don't know. This is not interesting to me. You know, make her a good character, explore her as a character, have her go through arcs, 100%. But I don't need some bigoted tavern drunk, you know, abusing her. Like, I'm not interested in that. That's shit, basically. And I'm sure the same actually hasn't been applied to Geralt of Rivia in the games either. So why do it now just because she's a woman, you know? But that's, again, why they do this, why they swap characters out all the time. I'm not saying that they did that specifically for this, but just generally speaking, they do that. So no, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop it down below. Will you be getting The Witcher 4? And does this make you a little bit nervous? Thoughts down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.